Welcome to part 2 post Super Bowl mock draft. And let's dive right in it. At the 17th pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to take Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU. He was a phenom on the outside. I think they need corner and maybe wide receiver, depending on what they do with Calvin Ridley. He is a free agent. So with the Trevor Lawrence extension probably coming down the pipe, they probably want to save a few dollars and just switch him out. Plus, Christian Kirk is kind of more of a slot guy. Zay Jones not a true number one, so he gets his true number one to go along with Evan Ingram, and the offense stays legit. At the 18th spot, the Cincinnati Bengals continue to get Joe Burrow protection coming off his injury. Going from one Alabama tackle to another, they take J.C. Latham, right tackle, to Los Angeles Rams. They won a lot of games because they won a lot of shootouts. So they will be targeting cornerbacks because they have a good front with Kobe Turner, Aaron Donald, and Byron Young. I think Terry and Arnold fits their zone scheme flexibility a lot. Maybe they have a new defense coordinator now that Raheem Morris left, but I think he's a Ram for sure. I think he fits the bill better than Nate Wiggins or Quinyon Mitchell or any of those other corners. Armarius Mims is somewhat of a project, but to go along with his bookie and Broderick Jones, I think the Steelers developed linemen pretty good. So I think him and them is like majority of mock drafts have them together. So I'm just going to fit the shoe and put it there. They need a right tackle. They have the left one already, and they need to protect whatever quarterback they're going to have back there. With the 21st pick, the Miami Dolphins select Troy Fontenot. I think in the NFL, he's going to go to guard. Played tackle at Washington, but he can kick out because Dolphins left tackle is very injury prone. And he could play right guard because Robert Hunt is actually a free agent, and I don't know if they're going to re-sign him. So his scheme, his flexibility along the line should be a plus in Mike McDaniel's zone scheme. He can pull, he can do whatever. He's a great athlete. The Eagles drafted a few young corners these past years. Maybe they give them a chance to start opposite Darius Slay because James Bradbury just is not it. But with the board falling the way it did, Kool-Aid McKinstry is the best corner on the board. I think they take him shoe-in fit. Texans made it to the divisional round without a lot of dynamic interior D linemen. I know they have Will Anderson on the edge, but Jerzon Newton, he'll fill in, and I think D'Amico will love him, and he's a scheme fit for their kind of 4-3 downhill defense. This may be one of my favorite picks. If the board falls this way, Jerry Jones, he'll run up there himself and turn the card in. Tyler Guyton, right up the road. Oklahoma falls to the Dallas Cowboys with Tyron Smith. Man, I don't know if they're going to re-sign him, but even if they do, he's kind of old. He's kind of injury prone. So I really think they can keep the left guard at left guard and put Tyler Guyton at left tackle, and then be set for the future, and be able to run the ball. Big mauler, great pass blocker. And here comes the run on the tackles. The Green Bay Packers take Jordan Morgan from Arizona. I think potentially David Bakhtiari may be a cap casualty, but if not, they still need a right tackle. I'm not a big fan of Zach Tom. I mean, he's a good fill-in, just, a backup, a reserve, but I don't think he's an adequate starter, so I think they fill some position on the line to protect their young, new franchise quarterback, Jordan Love. With all the uncertainty, the Buccaneers can definitely go quarterback right here, whichever one falls to them, or they just re-sign Baker Mayfield for another year or 2 years. But with that being said, I think they go Braylon Trice. They already have the focal point of their defense, Vita Vea in the middle, and I think Shaq Barrett is a little older now. He may be a cap casualty. Joe Sharinka, however you say his name, he just haven't been putting up the great numbers, so they need to get another pass rusher. This one from Washington can get after the quarterback real good. Last year when the Arizona Cardinals made the trade with the Texans, they were thinking they were going to have 2 top 10 picks, but the Texans actually fleeced them for the pick. But it turns out to be the number 27 pick, and with it, I think they take Quinyon Mitchell, a Senior Bowl standout corner. They don't have really just a standout corner, so I think he becomes the number 1 corner in their new scheme. Jonathan Gannon, he had made James Bradbury and Darius Slay when he was in Philly attack real good and have the number one defense that year actually. So I think he comes in and fits their zone scheme and turns out to be a great pick. At the number 28 pick, the Buffalo Bills take Keon Coleman. I think they could take him, Mitchell from Texas, maybe Xavier Worthy from Texas, or Troy Franklin. But I'm going to go with Keon Coleman because Gabriel Davis is a free agent, and I think he's going to have a fairly decent market, so they need to replace him. They already have two good tight ends, along with Stephon Diggs. They drafted an offensive lineman last year, so the O-line was pretty good, blocking for James Cook. Their offense is going to be viable. They just need more pieces around to make Josh Allen's job not carry the whole load and be Superman every time. Detroit Lions was in the NFC Championship last year, and I think they would have won the game if they had better cornerback play. So with this pick, we're going to go Nate Wiggins, the big corner from Clemson. I'm not fairly high on him. I think he's a little stiff in the hips, and he may run a slow 40 time at the combine, but that doesn't mean he can't play on the field. So with that being said, that's the pick. On to the next. At the 30th pick, the Ravens select Kingsley Soamata. They could have went receiver here, but I think more receivers will fall down the board so they can get one in the second round. And they already took a receiver last year, so I don't think they're going to take another one this year. With that being said, they have Ronnie Stanley. He's kind of injury prone, or he's not the same before the injury. And then Morgan Moses, he may be a cap casualty. And even if he does, he's going to be 34 next year. So they need to address the tackle position for sure. Like Eric DeCosta said it in the press conference, protecting Lamar is how we're going to win games, and they need to be viable up front. San Francisco 49ers, I know y'all lost the Super Bowl, but the way y'all constructed y'all roster, y'all be viable in the NFC for the next few years. I mean, all the mainstays other than Trent Williams is young. With that being said, I have y'all taking Troy Franklin or Xavier Worthy, but I'm going to say Troy Franklin because he's taller. And Brandon Ayuk is a free agent. I know y'all a little bit under the salary cap. Y'all can really keep him, but I think y'all going to let him walk and take the compensatory pick next year. But you need a deep threat to go along with all those motions and play actions that you have with y'all offense. So I think he's the best fit. And he's already on the West Coast, right there at Oregon. So great pickup, and kind of stealing them from the Chiefs because I think the Chiefs want to take a receiver, but it's so many you can't take them all. As we all thought the Chiefs would take a wide receiver, they turn around and take Leonard Taylor from Miami, the defensive tackle, because I do think Chris Jones, he just won the Super Bowl. I think he want to get paid. I think they're not going to be able to pay him and Snead. I think it's going to be either or, and I think he signs a massive contract with another team. This is round one of the post-Super Bowl mock draft. I will be doing one maybe in 2 weeks after the combine or something like that to let y'all update everything, and then one after free agency as well. Keep up with all the latest news on NFL 365 days a year.